Hi, everybody. It's Dennis, the active trend trader. Are you one of the traders who has a difficult time finding great growth stocks to trade every weekend? Well, we've got the answer in today's video. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. We're going to cover three things. Our panel of expert traders has picked out three top shelf growth stocks that are setting up and ready potentially to trade next week. Number two, an analysis of the indexes, showing which ones are strongest, which ones are weakest, and what the potential is for a move next week. And then we'll also cover another trading problem or issue that you may be having, and we'll provide an answer to that will help you, one, maximize your profits and minimize your losses. So let's get into today's session right now. Good afternoon, everybody. If you want to maximize your profits and minimize your losses, you're in the right place. I'm Dennis Wilburn, the active trend trader. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be basically talking about the clear and simple process we use with active trend trading to help you achieve those goals. And we've been doing it for now close to 10 years. Welcome aboard. We have Steve Ferreira from down in Oahu, Hawaii. I almost said Oahu, California. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Dennis.
And then we've got Anil Parikh from Delaware. Now, you actually live where in Delaware?
I live in Newark, Delaware, where the University of Delaware is.
Okay.
It's literally Wilmington, Delaware. It's kind of suburb of Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington. Okay, awesome. So I want to welcome everybody today. We're going to be covering, just to get after it, we're going to basically do three top growth stocks. We've been picking every week three growth stocks. We're going to try to keep this between 15 to 20 minutes. Secondly, then and also include an index review. And if we have time, if you have a question of us, please ask it. Matter of fact, if you think of a question, please go ahead and put it in the chat box right, as you think of it. And we'll try to get to those questions if we have time on the back side of this. So let's get into today's session. What I'm finding right now is we've already covered all of that. What we do with the active trend trading is it is tested, proven, and a clear, simple system designed to do what? Show you what to buy. And we focus on top growth stocks and great ETFs, when and where to buy it, when and where to sell it, what to expect, and then what strategy we're going to use. And hopefully we'll save you time every weekend by the three of us getting together and say, hey, here's three stocks you can be looking at this weekend and give you a jump start because, I know people who like to look at stock charts, we like to look at stock charts. And so sometimes we get lost in just the ecstasy of watching the charts. But at the same time, sometimes you have other things you're going to do on the weekend besides spending hours and looking at the charts. And so that's one of the things that we try to do for you, enable you to basically get out there, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the sunshine or the spring weather wherever you are. Remember that what we do is for training purposes. Traders should always pay per trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. And as you can see by my P&L, the straight line there is supposed to be the track that I'm on. But of course, P&Ls never go up on an absolutely straight line. They're going to zigzag around. It's been an interesting year. It's been a challenging year to get some traction. And we're still seeing that today since we currently have a mixed market as we look going forward into the rest of the week. Here's where we're sitting. We have made some progress. And as I've said earlier in the year, the indexes took off like a bat, bat out of heck at the beginning of the year. They jumped up and basically have held the gains that they generated during almost the first couple of months of the year. And then we've been just basically in a meat grinder for the last, 6+ weeks as the markets have just basically went up, stalled, went down, found support, and they've been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So let's go ahead and jump over and see what the index charts are telling us. Let's start with the S&P. And let me find my drawing tools here. I tell you what, Anil, I'm going to go ahead and take the video off for a little bit right now so people can see the charts. Then we'll come back on. There we go. I think I took that down. So let's see here. Let me get my drawing tools up. What are the index? A daily chart on the right, weekly chart on the left. What is happening? Well, basically, we have driven up to past supply and or resistance, and we're kind of stalling out. What kind of candlestick are we putting in today? We're putting in a spinning top. It's not quite a doji, but it is a spinning top, an indication of 1, the market may be tired. 2, the market is just resting, trying to make up its mind which way it wants to go. Hold on a second. There we go. So what can we take away from this? Not a lot. We are above the moving averages. That's positive. We broke out of the little downtrend that the market had been in. So we're up there, and we pushed up and made an intraday new high. Our momentum is heading in a positive direction on the TSI, on the daily chart. Weekly chart, though, it is mixed, still pointing down. And so what's that telling us? Right now, it looks like we're just driving sideways. We got support down here at the 407 level, resistance up here at the let's see where it is, about the 417 level, up to 421. And the way I would look at doing this is if I get up to the extremes levels, I would look to take a credit or a option trade back in the other direction, or I would trade the leveraged ETFs. Down here towards the bottom, I'd look for the bullish leveraged ETF. Up here towards the top, look for the bearish leveraged ETF. So that's what we have going on with the spiders. What about the Qs? Now, the spiders are the S&P is slightly up for the day. Spiders up about 60 cents. NASDAQ, as represented by the Qs, down for the day. Similar type situation. I can go ahead and get rid of that. What's happening is basically price action. Interesting move this week. We had a nice sell-off. However, it got right to this past support, found support. But this move on Wednesday, it opened down here, right at support. Support held just the way the advertisement said it's supposed to do. And then we've made a rebound back up to where? Back up into past areas of resistance where sellers still lurk. Now, might we push on up to these past highs up here at the 340 level? Sure. Let's see what happens as long as the moving averages, which are starting to turn up, do in fact act as dynamic support in this case. It provides a case for the markets to be moving higher. We'll see if that is in fact, see if that does in fact happen. We are coming back, and we broke up out of the downtrend line. And then we're coming back to see if, let's see if we come back here and kiss the trend line goodbye. While we could, yes, jump on that trade right there at the moving averages or at the trend line, the weekly momentum is still pointing down. So again, similar to the S&P, I would look at, I'm not going to basically short this where it's at right now, but I may just hold on to see if it's going to come back and retest down at the 317 level, or it may just come down to about the 322 to 322 to 323 level, and look for a bounce there. And overall, we've got a couple of, one of the things that we can do is go ahead and draw in, as you're reviewing this over the weekend, go ahead and draw in this trend line here. It's a good trend line across there. That is currently the, another level. Extend that to the right. Another level or another trend where price action could bounce down there across that. But just keep that in mind. The other one is from this level down here through these levels, and we can see that trend, that longer term trend, was broken, but price action is trying to recapture that. And we'll know a lot more by the end of the day if today's price action closes below the 20 period and the 50 period moving average. And also 34 is right in that same place. Right in that, there's three moving averages that come into concurrence right there, along with the downtrending trend line. If we close below that area today, that may foretell some additional pullback early next week. That's where that's what I'm looking at with that. Then IWM, the Russell got all the way back up, stuck its nose above, it did the Pinocchio thing, stuck its nose above the downtrend line. However, this lower high is still in effect here, but we have a higher low right here. So we've got the first leg of a new potential uptrend, but we need to push through that high at the level is that? The 23-24 level. As with the other indexes, if we close below the 50, the 20, and the 34, watch for a potential pullback back down into these bodies here early next week. That's what could be in store. We're starting to approach the last final pieces of the earnings for the quarter. And so price, again, this is not a real strong chart on IWM is what I'm trying to say. However, it is given a very clear indication of where support is. If you look over here on the weekly chart, look at those long tails. That's telling us exactly where buyers are coming in to support this, the ETF or support the Russell. The Russell, and this is another thing you can do over the weekend. Just go over and grab the index itself. Are we seeing something similar to that? We sure are. You can see we're seeing, it's holding the moving averages. And but I'll throw a big but out there. But it continues to hammer down against these moving averages. And eventually that jackhammer effect could turn the moving averages over. And then we'd go slip sliding away for a larger correction. Right now, we are working within what's our correction thing right now? There's about a 10%. So we're working within a 10% move here. Go over on the dailies and see what we've got. Yeah, about a 10, 11%, which is a corrective type move. And so a correction has happened, but what's going to happen now? If price action, and I'm going to shut up, guys, and let you guys get into your stocks. If price actions just continue to push sideways like this, that could be very positive for the rally that the Russell tends to go into in the late September, early October time frame, when it traditionally outperforms the other indexes. So right now, mixed markets. At the strong support, look to trade to the upside. At strong resistance, look to trade to the downside. If you, in fact, can do trade downside type moves. Stephen and Neil, what do you think?
I basically agree. I think we're in no man's land. Although I'm leaning, if I have to choose a direction, I think we're setting up for a next move to be upside. The timing on that is what's in question.
Yeah, big one. Yeah, and I don't disagree. And you just have to, you know, like I said, we have to trade the chart in front of us.
Yeah.
So, Anil?
One of the things I notice is I have many more setups to buy than to sell.
Okay.
It's kind of an interesting note to make.
Yeah, I'm still, my signals are saying sideways market, so we'll see what happens. I hope it turns around and goes up.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I want to make sure is clear with everyone is the market can be moving sideways, but hey guys, these are tradable sideways moves. If the Russell's like from here to here is 10%, well, if you're looking to trade like TNA in that same move, you know, what does that move equate to? About a, let's see what it equates to, about a 40% move. And so just be aware of that, however, there is a squeeze of momentum going on. As you see, the ranges keep getting a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller until decision time happens. And then where to from there, we'll find out. I like Steve and Anil said, you know, I would favor an upside move. However, we need to be ready to trade the chart in front of us. Good dialogue, guys. So let's see. Anil went first last time. So Steve, you have, now this is a retread for you, right?
That's correct. I've been in and out of this, and I'm back in again to literally today.
Today,
yeah. I like above yesterday's high. I got in today.
Okay.
It's in a long term. If you look at the weekly chart, it's in a very strong long-term trend.
Okay.
We've gone sideways for about a month. It's not quite a month, maybe 3-4 weeks.
Right.
And I think we're getting poised to move. You know, we had a good bar 3 days ago. A little bit of nothing happening yesterday, and then I think the buyers have come in. Although volume is a little low today, so I would buy into the end of the day, between now and the end of the day.
Where would you put your stop loss?
Initially under the bar three bars ago, but after today's close, I'll probably be 2 bars away, the low of 2 bars. I tend to put in tight stops.
Yeah, and that's great. It gave you some idea. The swing low is right down there at about 4%, maybe a little bit more with current prices, and so that's well within a reasonable level. So I like it, Steve. This is another one that could fit itself up very nicely for doing some option trades on it also. If you're looking to learn how to trade options, something like Schwab is a really good entity. It is weekly options, and it has really nice open interest. So I just throw that out.
And relatively low priced.
Yes. Yeah. So cool, Schwab. I like it. And let's see. Let me look here really quick. And let me see. There it is. I think that's what I'm looking for. Well, darn it. And so, actually, Steve, this is the first time you've had Schwab. I know you've talked about Schwab before, but since we started tracking,
okay,
this is the first time that Schwab's on
the entry didn't trigger, I guess, the last time. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, it's on the checking block. Okay, Anil.
My stock of the day is AMAT. I had a good run with it, then got out of it, and looks like it's turning around. It's finding support at 50-day.
Okay. So are you a buyer right now?
Yeah, buyer right here, right now.
Okay. So there you go, guys. We're talking about 129. So that's 2 great stocks. And where's your stop loss?
Stop will be approximately 5% below that.
Okay. So let's just.
Usually I use 7%, but I think with the condition of the market, I just want to give it 5% and that's it.
Okay. And that makes a lot of sense. A 5% is slightly below that old breakout level at the 123.07 level. So excellent. Excellent. And AMAT, again, folks, is another one of those stocks, weekly options, and they've got some pretty solid open interest in it. So, and tight spreads between the bid ask. It's an ideal stock to be, if you're looking to learn how to trade options, it's an ideal stock to be able to do that. The other only thing that, the other way I like to learn how to trade options, and I wish they would add them back when I first started, was on the index ETF. I think is probably the absolute best because of how tightly it's wrapped. And so anyway, I like it. AMAT. Longer term, well, I know that is not, you wouldn't consider this a double bottom on the IBD thing, but it is, it's holding up. It's holding up very nicely. And those moving averages, now that they're turned back around and facing up, that's a real positive because those could work as catchers. So I like it. So good job, gentlemen.
I got a quick question for you on how would you analyze that your TSI indicator between daily and weekly charts?
Yeah, hold on a second. Well, right now is I'm getting mixed messages. The TSI on the daily weekly chart is facing down.
Correct.
However, the TSI on the daily chart is, of course, heading up. Now, that's partly normal. And what will happen is, but I'm looking here at, it's actually really great volume right there, Stu. Oh, yeah, we're still looking at AMAT. And so, yeah, so I would be looking at it from the aspect, I would take my signal off of this, be paying attention over here on the weekly, so that if it got back up into like past levels of resistance and started to stall out, I would be ready to go ahead and take my profits off the table or have a really tight stop loss because the weekly momentum was prevailing. But again, a little bit of mixed signals. We've got the short and intermediate term market forecast heading up, but the longer term is facing down, but it's just gradually. It's just, I mean, this is almost like a really nice bull flag on a weekly chart. I mean, and so anyway, that's how I would look at it.
Thank you.
Anil, just
Thank you.
Yeah. So one of the things I have been experimenting with. Yeah, Mark, I'll mix AMAT with yet, and that's because here's my choice. My choice for today or for this week, Yeti. And God, not to be, not to be outdone, I might say, guys, go ahead and buy it right now. Actually, in reality, since it's bouncing back up above the 8-day moving average, you in fact could. However, one of the things that is noticeable on, I think, all three of our picks is we're pushing right back up right up against the, in fact, I can draw it in there. Slight breakout. And so that's interesting to see. I've got, what do I got? Yeah, a little bit of pop up, but that's I really like Yeti in that earnings are behind it. We've got a good level of support here. I would want to go ahead, if I enter today, I would want to go with about a 5% stop loss, which would be where? Maybe a 6% stop loss, which would be right slightly below the 50-day moving average. I think that is the other way of looking at this, because is that I could actually just put in an order to buy it off of the 820, but it's going to be pretty much where, close to where it's at. And it's only $1.18 away. So this could be an excellent area just to go ahead, maybe buy a half, on all of these. If you're right up against a pass or a level of resistance, where if it breaks out and runs, you'll miss the trade. It's not a bad idea to kind of take a half position or and so I mean, and that's okay, and so okay, if you guys want to turn your camera back on, we'll go ahead and close out for the day. Any questions, guys? We ran a little bit over, but if there's a real quick question. And so remember, one of the things with active trend trading, we do provide autopilot trading. We have both a combo growth stock and leverage ETF. You get your own pre-flight checklist on Saturday and Sunday of each week, and I tell you exactly where I'm trading, where I'm jumping in. We had 3 of our entities hit this week. One of them did get stopped out for about a 4% stop loss on Dick's Sporting Goods. However, the other ones have gone on and are up for the week. So if you want to know more about how to engage the autopilot, it starts for less than $20 a month for a membership, and you can find out more about it right there at activetrendtrading.com/autopilot/. That will be that link will be down in the comment section on YouTube. So until next week, I want to just say to Steve and Anil, thank you both very much.
You're very welcome.
I really like these stocks that we've been picking have been really excellent. So Steve and Anil, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much.
And you can turn your cameras on. Your cameras on if you would like. So let's close off today. There, Steve. So Steve, you're looking good, man. You've been working out.
No, not as much as I ought to be.
Okay. So until next week, I just want to say, keep the egg growing, trade well, prosper. If you're joining us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit the subscribe, hit the bell. And then also there will be a video that comes up. And today's video I'm going to be talking about, the extra video is the on-demand feature of the Thinkorswim platform. If you don't utilize that, you're missing a tremendous opportunity to practice and practice well. So with no further ado, Steve, have a great rest of your weekend. And
you too, Dennis.
Stay warm, man. Anil, we'll see you later.